Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to make your lower back strong and resilient again. So if you have issues with your lower back, this is definitely a video you want to watch. So we're going to start by going down onto the ground and we're going to go into a plank position. Alright, but we're not going to do planks like we usually do, where people hold it for a long period of time. We're not actually looking to hold it for a long period of time. We're looking to activate as much muscle fibers as we can at once. So key number one is I want to keep my glutes squeezed at all time. My glutes are never relaxing. Key number two, I want to really take a deep breath in and compress all the air that is in my rib cage. Okay, so those are the two keys that are very important. Now, with my elbow, what I'm going to try to do to create more compression will be to pull down my elbows and pull down my pull up my feet. So I'm going to try to bring the point of my elbow that is on the ground and my feet closer, trying to compress even more. So I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to squeeze everything. And I'm going to inhale, I'm going to exhale, sorry, as I will say from a very tiny hole to create even more compression. So my squeezing is pushing the air out, but it's not me breathing out. So what I don't want to do is, which here I don't have much compression happening. I don't have much compression going on into my core. And what I want to do is I want to make the breath as long as I can to activate more and more and more. What I want to do is I don't want 50%, I don't want 70%, but I want 100% of muscle activation all at once in one breath. And what I want to do is take 6 breaths exactly. So it's going to look like this. I remind you that between breaths, my glutes are not relaxing. And that is step number one. When I do this, I want to create as much pressure as I can to isolate my core, my entire core and my glutes to work together to protect my spine and make it straight. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, but sideways. So sideways, I'm going to look for having a 90 degrees into my legs. Here, the 2 points that I will focus will be my knee and my elbow. Again, I'm going to try to bring them together. What helps also is to construct the arm at the same time to generate more contraction. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to raise my hip up, open my knees, squeeze my glutes, of course. Hitting a deep, intense pressure here. That's 3. That's 4. 5. That's 6. So now I've done one side. Obviously, you need to do the other side also. So those are the 2 exercises that I really like to isolate the core and make sure that we are building stability. So you see, when you actually hurt your lower back, most of the time is due to lack of stability, and that creates movement into the discs, which you don't want. We're gonna now move to the third exercises. So here basically you're gonna need 2 poles, or as I like to tell people, a door frame is enough, and a PVC pipe. Better a large one, a thick one, rather than the very skinny one, because you want some resistance. So here I'm not gonna try to hyperextend much, but I'm basically gonna try to push down and compress my spine. What I'm trying to mimicate is a reverse plank, but with my lumbar. And here what we're gonna keep on targeting is keeping the glutes squeezed, my feet are staying down, and I wanna target my lumbar specifically. So I'm gonna take a deep breath. And again, every time I hold my breath, I'm gonna hold it for 5 seconds up there. And I'm gonna make sure that both of my hands are pushing equal. What I really want to target is my lumbar. So by now you should really feel your lumbar firing up and getting activated, but it should feel like a muscle activation rather than a muscle soreness or something that you pinched. You should really feel like your lumbar are getting solid. So I usually recommend 6 reps, each rep to hold at least for 5 seconds up and holding your breath for 5 seconds, and 3 sets of this. Post this, you should feel like your lumbar are really fired up and they really feel good. Now we're gonna do the sideways. So it's pretty much the same. The only difference is that now we're gonna focus on pushing only with one arm. And then switching to the other side. Again, I keep my glutes squeezed at all time. And what I want to see and feel is the transition from one lumbar to another, isometrically holding, and that transition. Again, my glutes are squeezed at all time, not relaxing my glutes, and my feet are not going up, they're staying down. Those are my favorite 2 exercises to really activate the lumbar and focus isometrically on the lumbar to make them strong again. After this exercise, you should feel like your lumbar are really activated and they're feeling like 2 pillars holding your spine up and not feeling like they're sore or anything like this. So now moving on to the next exercise. So we're gonna put the ball on our hip. We're gonna try to keep our upper body down. Here, the muscle that generates the movement is primarily the glutes. I don't wanna move my lower back up until the end, where you should feel a contraction into the lower back, but you should not feel like your lower back is doing the movement. So I'm gonna squeeze my glutes until my legs raise up, and then before touching the ground, I'm gonna squeeze again. So you should feel the glutes working very hard, and you should feel at the end a nice contraction into your lower back. Now we're gonna move to the second variation of this exercise, which is alternating the legs. So same principle here, but now I'm gonna alternate the legs one by one. Again, the muscle that generates the movement is the glutes, not the lower back. The lower back is just contracting at the end. After doing those exercises, if you stand upright, you should feel like your lumbar are fired up and activated, and you should feel that they're very solid and you're leaning on your muscles rather than actually leaning on your spine, which will elevate the pressure that can cause you sciatica pain or pressure that can cause you pain into your lower back.